Hey everybody, this is Caveman Only, and welcome to episode 10 of my Troglodyte Tribulations, which is just a fancy way of saying my underground grinding session. It's been a minute since the last video, huh? But that's not because I haven't been working my ass off behind the scenes. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there for the release of this episode. I know it's been about a month since the last one. But got a lot of content to cover this episode, mostly thieving and magic grinding, because I'm still working my way to unlocking the catacombs with 69 magic. So without further ado, let's get right into the progress. So if you've seen my latest progress videos, you'll know that one of my long-standing goals has been to get 78 thieving. That way I can steal from the rich chests here in Dorgish Khan that give the potential to loot jade gems that I can turn into rings of returning. So along the way, though, I discovered that these chests here upstairs in Dorgish Khan and Xanix's bedroom actually give a pretty good potential of looting an easy clue scroll. I think the odds are about 1 in 32, it seems. But I decided to try and complete an easy clue scroll. The odds of me doing that are less than 1%, but I'm trying to get my hands on an air staff or a magic amulet to help out with my magic offensive bonus, and both of those drops are on the standard loot table from an easy clue scroll. So hopefully I can manage to complete an easy clue here eventually. Let's fucking go! Search the crates in the Dwarven Mine. Let's fucking go. So out of a possible 141 easy clue steps, I can only complete 6 of them. And one of those steps is actually above ground at my respawn point in Edgeville, but you have to just search one of the coffins right there by the entrance to the dungeon, so I went ahead and considered that fair game since my respawn point is there anyway. So here are the 6 easy clue steps that I can actually do. 2 of them are located in the Dwarven Mine. One of them is searching a coffin in Edgeville. One of them is in the Varrock West Bank basement. One of them you speak to Vanica, and the final one is a cheer at the bottom floor of the games room. Now, easy clues can be anywhere from 2 to 5 steps long, so the odds of me completing a 2-step easy clue scroll are just 0.08%. And as it scales up to 5 steps, the odds of me completing a 5-step easy clue scroll are basically 0. Come on, man. Damn it! Oh, son of a bitch. I mean, technically it's not on the surface level. Technically it's upstairs and maybe I can do it. But no, that's a dud. After a bit of clue scroll fun, I decided to finish up the remaining giant keys that I had in my bank from last episode. I decided to bring range this time instead of magic because first of all I was running low on nature runes for snare, and second of all it turns out that the range method is a hell of a lot easier than the magic method, and it saves me quite a bit of food as well. I finally decided to say screw it with the snare method because it wasn't really working, especially with the range setup, and plus I would rather use my nature runes for high alching as it is. So I went with a better range tank setup with the rune kite and the rune full helm, and turns out that that is even better than my previous range setup, and I hardly had to use any food at all, which is incredible. So since I can complete 6 out of 141 possible easy clue steps, that means I should get a doable first step from an easy clue roughly every 24 clues. And as you can tell from the counter on screen, I am just under that rate for my second clue, so let's go! This is it, guys. Come on, give me a Dwarven Mine clue, or Vanica, since I'm here. Search the drawers on the ground floor of a shop when you know. Gosh darn it. And incoming here we have 75 thieving, which is pretty awesome. That goal of 78 is not too far away. Alright, another easy clue. Cheer at the games room? Is that one I can do? I think I can do that one, right? Yes. Can I stand you? I can only stand you if you give me another doable clue. Dance in the shack in the lumber swamp. Ugh. Guys. I just want 2 steps in a row. Is that too much to ask? Here's a random clip of me accidentally getting iron boots from killing a cave slime, and they're actually my best in slot boots for melee for now, so that's cool. Yep. A lot more really riveting curse splashing going on right now for some magic training. And coming in here is level 60 magic. Yay. Here we are, ladies and gentle sirs, the moment we have all been waiting for. Wait for it. 78 thieving. Let's fucking go. So here we are, after months of thieving grinding off and on, I have finally gotten access to the rich chests in Dorgesh Khan. These are the big boy chests. As you can tell from the XP drops here, there's 650 XP each, stealing from these things, and they give all kinds of gems from opal up through diamond. And they're all about equally the same chance to loot them, which is incredible. So now I'm here collecting some jade so that I can make some rings of returning. If you're not familiar, rings of returning are a piece of silver jewelry that teleports you to your respawn location. And mine is in Edgeville, of course. And so this is a big step for me, because previously the only way I was able to get to the Edgeville dungeon was either via suiciding or by using a Ring of Life, which of course only has one charge. These rings have 5 charges. So this is changing the entire meta of the way I access content in Edgeville Dungeon. This makes Obor preparation a lot easier and a lot more straightforward, and it also unlocks a potential magic training method, which I will showcase later on in the video. So here I am preparing some supplies for my potential magic training method in the Edgeville Dungeon. I started off the beginning of this video collecting some swamp weed from the cave bugs in the South Dorgesh Khan dungeon, and now I'm about to make some molten glass at this fancy furnace down here in southern Dorgesh Khan, and I'm going to turn the molten glass into unpowered orbs. If you weren't aware, you can charge unpowered orbs into earth orbs at the earth obelisk in the wilderness part of the Edgeville dungeon, and that's where I'm going next. Let's go. Okay, honestly, that magic training method is such shit, but I did use some cosmic runes, but now I'm ready to try my hand at Obor with these rings of returning. That was the last of my giant keys for the time being, and unfortunately I didn't get my hands on the Hill Giant Club, so I decided to head back and do some thieving. If you didn't know, these thieving chests are incredible XP per hour, especially if you do the method I do, where you only thieve from 2 chests in the room and then hop worlds. It can get up to approximately 300k experience an hour. And here's 80 thieving. The levels are really starting to fly now. The experience here is crazy. And now for something completely different. I wanted to try my hand at some fishing as an alternative method of collecting swamp weed. I'm here in the Dorgesh Khan South Dungeon, and this particular fishing spot is actually 100% stationary, just like Karamban fishing spots. So I can AFK here indefinitely. It's incredible. The fishing levels are actually flying here, and it's an okay method of collecting swamp weed. It is certainly not the best method, but it's just something to do while I can do other things in real life, like eat or edit videos, that kind of thing. I'm telling you, man, the thieving levels are just rolling in now. 81 thieving and 18 levels to go. Now it's time to take this scuffed magic setup and do some real magic training. Yeah, so my rune supplies don't really last too long, so I'm here at the Zar creatures camping them for some tackle, clutch range level coming in here. collecting some tackle. That way I can purchase some brand new rune packs from the magic shop in Moral Wreck. So thank you all for voting that question through in the recent polls. It helps me out a lot, and I'm sure Karamja only appreciates it as well. And we have 62 magic coming in hot. Very nice. Only 4 levels to go. So after determining that collecting unique items from the Tsar creatures is the best way for me to obtain elemental runes, I decided to basically do that until I achieve the magic level that I need. And because magic is so incredibly difficult for me to train underground, I train with pretty much any viable method that I can find, which includes Crumble Undead, which you probably know is a decent method for me to train. Here's 63 magic coming in. I then use my stockpile of death runes using Earth Blast on the high-level cave bugs in the Dorshan South Dungeon. And I finally settled in on Curse Splashing as my main method of training magic because it's so cheap. And 64 magic, only 2 levels to go. Here's another pretty big milestone coming in hot. 80 range, my very first combat skill to level 80. Very nice. Finally, I had obtained enough uniques to buy 66 magic, so now let's get some runes and go to work. This is it. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, boys. It's time to unlock the catacombs. Let's fucking go. So here we go. This is the first ever time going to the catacombs. Let's go. Pot up. Some gibberish. Read the statue. Maybe investigate the statue. And there we are, boys. Holy shit.